Hey everyone, Caveman only here, and this is a guide on how to make a unique Ironman. If you haven't noticed, other accounts with crazy restrictions have been popping up all over social media lately. It's a rapidly growing trend, and I decided there's no better time than now to explain what it means to be a unique Ironman and how you can join in on the fun. For starters, what is a unique Ironman? Colloquially known as a snowflake, a unique Ironman is any breed of Ironman, regular, ultimate, or hardcore, with additional self-imposed rules and limitations. Although there has been a surge of snowflakes entering the community in the last 6 months, this style of gameplay has been around for quite a long time. Let's take a brief look at the history behind self-restricted old-school RuneScape Ironmen. Most would agree that Bodhi's one-man army series that began in May 2014 planted the seed for what was to follow. 5 months before the release of official Ironman mode, Bodhi forged his own self-imposed path, playing the game as if he were the only person in RuneScape. This went on to become one of the most successful video series in RuneScape history. Shortly after came Will Dependent, an unofficial wilderness-only Ironman whose series captured the eye of many, including mine, and laid the groundwork for future area-restricted Ironman to come. Ironman mode was released on the 13th of October 2014. Days later, the future king of Reddit would be born. Karamja Only, the first official area-only Ironman. Just Desert by Easyscape would follow suit 2 months later with a short YouTube series. January 2016 saw the release of the new continent Zaya, followed by Evan Andrew H's pioneering Zaya-only Ironman. This led to a huge boom in the Zaya Ironman community later that year. In April of the following year, Caveman Only was born. In the wake of my moderate success on YouTube, I co-founded a subreddit, r Unique Ironmen, that would grow to become the hub of all things Unique Ironman related. This sub is still quite active, and you can find the link below in the description to check it out. Now that a central hub for ideas, progress, and theory crafting had been established, mid-2018 saw the Snowflake surge, with hundreds of people starting their own journeys and joining the community. But this wasn't just for your average layscaper. This trend has been catching on. Content creators like UIM Verf, Sea Engineer, and most recently, Settled's Mauritania-locked Swampletics have been joining the fold as well. It seems like this subgenre of gameplay is here to stay for a while. Some people accept that fate, others are more skeptical. What is the hype all about? Why do people choose to play this way? Here are my thoughts. At the time of making this video, Ironman mode was released 50 months ago. Many people have already had the opportunity to live a full Ironman life cycle, and for some, it's become rather stale. Many people also anticipated the release of Group Ironman mode at RuneFest in 2018, but it was never officially announced. The devs cited a lack of engine features. Because of this, many content creators seem to be turning towards Unique Ironman for variety and nuance in their content, especially those who have recently fallen on their hardcores. Beyond that, playing a Unique Ironman is just simply liberating. You get to forge your own path, choose your own adventure. You get to customize your difficulty setting and how wild your grinds will be. You don't have to sit around for Jagex to release content or to revive dead content, because you get to make the content. That's what this is all about. Now on to what probably brought you here in the first place, the guidelines. First, you want to pick something with interesting, compelling gameplay. Regardless of whether you choose to share your progress or not, you'll thank yourself later. Second, you need to have good, clear end goals. It's generally best to start with your end goals and work backwards to see how it'll be possible to achieve your goals over the life of your account. Without clear goalposts, you're pretty likely to become burnout in the monotony that is old school RuneScape. If you're at all familiar with my series, you'll know that I can't speak for this one personally, but it's generally good practice to have as few exceptions as possible, if any. In my defense, I had no idea what I was doing when I made Caveman Only nearly 2 years ago now, so I essentially was faking it till I made it. It happened to work out okay for me, but I do not recommend it. Make your life easy, and come up with something as cohesive and simple as possible. Finally, and arguably most important of all, pick something you'll enjoy. At the end of the day, regardless of whether you choose to share your progress with others, playing a Unique Ironman is all about finding a new way to discover the game, and fall in love with it all over again. After all, once you find RuneScape, you're here forever, so you may as well find a way to enjoy it. Let's now delve into the 3 main categories of Unique Ironmen. First up, we have stat-restricted Ironmen. Under this umbrella, you'll find Classic 1 defense pures, Zerkers, and 10 HP accounts. There's also a growing market for accounts limited to only one segment of the combat triangle: magic only, melee only, or ranged only. Accounts that can only train combat, slayer, and nothing else have also grown to become quite popular as well. On the other side of the coin, you have your traditional 3 combat skillers who intentionally limit themselves from combat. Beyond that, though, are many other types of special stat restrictions, such as accounts that may only level 1 stat at a time all the way to 99 before moving on to the next skill, and accounts that level all skills equally, for example, levels 9 to 10 before moving on. You might also consider restricting yourself to a specific untrimmed skill cape that will involve limiting yourself in all other stats along the way. The next category, and my personal favorite, are the area restricted Ironmen. I've divided this category into 2 subsections, strict and flexible, based on the clarity of the boundaries for each area. Karamja, Mauritania, Zaya, and the 2 tiles north of the northwest corner of Lumbridge Church Ironman all have very clear boundaries for their gameplay. On the other hand, you have accounts, like my Underground Ironman, that are a bit more ambiguous in terms of area limits. These types of accounts, such as Fairy Ring only, Island only, and Swamp only, generally require a bit more due diligence and care to maintain the difficulty and integrity over the long haul. With a bit of creativity and dedication, though, these accounts can be just as fun and challenging as the strict ones. Finally, we have the broadest category of restriction, the character restricted Ironman. This is essentially the other category that encompasses all other possible types of gameplay that don't involve just limiting your stats or your geographic location. Again, there are 2 camps, the exclusionary and the exclusive. In the exclusionary camp, you have possibilities such as not using shops, not completing any quests, or not using any teleports. On the contrary, you have the exclusive specialist camp that may only use one type of content. Clue scroll only Ironmen have proven to be very popular in the last 6 months, as well as some more niche accounts like the Zealot, who may only wear gear with prayer bonus, or an account that may only equip 2-handed weapons. If you're looking for an account idea that is exclusive and unique to you, this is the category to explore because the possibilities are essentially infinite. Many people are unsure about joining the unique Ironman community because as it's grown exponentially in recent times, it seems like all of the quote-unquote good ideas are taken. But just remember, at the end of the day, the only limits to a unique Ironman are your own personal creativity and dedication. Here are some examples of what I'd consider to be good and bad ideas for a snowflake Ironman. Take my man Tedious, also known as Trident. He is a maxed mage-only Ironman and currently in the top 50 ranks in Magic for all Ironmen. Pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. Here's what I like about Trident. The limitations behind his account are very straightforward. Just don't train melee or range. Got it. The gameplay is extremely interesting, especially when it comes to bossing. Ever thought about doing a mage-only fight caves run? This guy's done 37 of them, and he has a Jad pet. On top of all that, the end goals on his account are incredible. He has the Chambers of Zarek, Dagannoth Kings, Cerberus, and more to hunt as he goes for his max mage bonus. This is the textbook definition of what it means to be a great snowflake Ironman. Now, for a not-so-good example, the 2 tiles north of the northwest corner of Lumbridge Church mage-only Ultimate Ironman. Yes, that was an actual account that somebody made. No, they didn't get very far. In my opinion, here's where they went wrong. First of all, it's pretty limited in terms of content, I'd say. And second of all, what long-term goals they may have had are not achievable in an average human lifespan. But it's great for free R2007scape Reddit karma, so I guess you have to pick your battles. In terms of how I view the macro efficiency spectrum in the game, as you can imagine, snowflakes perform pretty poorly in this category. It's going to take Caveman nearly 1,500 hours of Slayer to achieve a rune crossbow, and Settled just made an entire progress video about getting 15 agility on his Mauritania locked Ultimate Ironman. I think you get the point. On the arbitrary spectrum though, we snowflakes are no different than anyone else in terms of enjoyment of the game. At the end of the day, we're all here to play this 18-year-old medieval children's clicking simulator together, and all that matters is that you have fun doing it. So whether you like to compete for make-believe efficiency ranks on a third-party high scores, or dress like an Earth Warrior and Skull Trick noobs in the Edge dungeon, or have make-believe rules about only playing dead content under the ground by yourself, except for when you're not underground when you have to get somewhere else. It's all about having fun and doing what you enjoy. So if this Snowflake Ironman stuff sounds like it might be worth giving a shot, here are the best resources to use now. The subreddit that I mentioned earlier, Our Unique Ironman, is a great place to theorycraft, get ideas, and support other fellow masochists on their ridiculous grinds. You can also join my Caveman only clan chat in the game, my Discord server, which will be linked below in the description, and you can check out my stream sometime because I'm always throwing around crazy ideas in there as well. I appreciate you all for tuning into this video. I'm going to come right out and say this now. On the record, 2019 is the year of the Snowflake Ironman. You can quote me on that later. And remember, people, it's not about whether you're main or iron, it's how you enjoy the game. Thanks for watching.